Welcome to episode 32 of the No Scrubs podcast. I'm your host, Lewis, and joining me today, a man who's just got back from Nerdfest Armageddon. Stephen, how you going?
It's good, dude. So, if you're for the uninformed, Armageddon is like the New Zealand Comic-Con.
But worse.
Yeah. Gonna be going up to the Auckland one in October. Never been before, so that should be good. I find when I used to go, I'd always go to like the premium vendors that have like the Playhouse figures that are like $160 a pop, shit like that. But now, this time around, I found myself going to the small local businesses and seeing what they've got in store. Dude, it was funniest thing though, man. So my girlfriend and her mum were running their crochet stall, and when me and the missus decide to go for a walk, this guy comes up to her mum and it's just like, "Do you do customs?" And she's like, "Oh, not really." And he's just like, "Oh, well, could you, if I gave you like the maths for it, could you crochet this?" He's like, that's me. That's I'm a furry. And he had a shirt that said Sled Dog, and he's like, "Yeah, so this costume, it's based off Final Fantasy, can't remember the name." And I was just like, her poor mum. Like the guy was just passionate and he had his own idea of stuff, but she is just like, this is foreign to her.
Yeah. You're like, "Oh, this is too much for me, sorry."
But then they had like a stall that was like retro stuff, like a lot of He-Man related stuff, and one was like, it kind of looked like Castle Grayskull or something like that, and it like opened up. I was like, "Wow, that's real cool." See the price tag, $3K. It's like, not that cool.
Yeah, still $3K cool. Very, very few things in that realm are $3,000 cool, but if you're a He-Man collector, it's probably for you.
But one of my co-workers was there, and she...
You're going to say cohorts?
Cohorts.
My cohorts.
She was selling Pokemon cards, and she managed to make $400, so hell yeah.
Good shit.
Up the collectors.
Yeah, fuck yeah. Yeah, I haven't been in years. It doesn't interest me too much anymore. It used to be all my mates would go, so it'd be nice to go and see everyone and have a catch up, but I'm like, it's not really my thing anymore. I like to have my video games and my nerd stuff away from where all the people are. It gets really packed there. Dude, I remember the year they had it at the fucking like horse stables, and it was just like, this part smells like horse shit. Great venue.
That's sort of when my interest petered off.
Yeah, they kept the venues though kept getting bigger, so they got the horse stables kind of part, and then we actually got like the kind of the Addington Raceway kind of centre, which was pretty big. It was good, and then now it's like now Christchurch's second biggest stadium, but it's like that's a good sized venue. But it was cool seeing it grow, but then it was a point where I saw the line for this. I'm like, fuck that, bro. I ain't lining up outside.
Fuck
that
off.
Shit. Get out of here. I stayed at home and played games.
Played game.
I actually had a lot of random fucking adulting to do as well. I got so much done. So yeah, we got a bit to talk about today, dude. I got so much information. I've got it. Look, it's 4 full pages, but it just dips its toe into that 5th page. So let's go into this. Like, so the first thing was DLSS5. Did you see the images from this, Stephen?
I don't know if the ones you guys posted, but I saw the lady from Resident Evil.
Yeah,
and it's like, kind of look like they just put a filter on her.
Yeah, Yassified Grace Ashcroft, I think is the name. I haven't played RE9, but yeah. So essentially, it's supposed to be it's kind of a visual filter. It's a little more complicated than that, but it's supposed to make games look and perform better, but it's kind of looking a little uncanny so far.
Good way of putting it.
Yeah, it adds photorealistic lighting, which the lighting does look better. The lighting does look quite good. But yeah, some of the characters just looked a bit off, eh? Like, I must say, every single Bethesda character looked better. The Bethesda characters actually looked much better because, like Chris, our boy Scrip had said, Bethesda face is a thing. And yeah, those characters look kind of shitty. Some developers have said as well that this is closer to my original vision for this character, and so on, right? So the developers seem to be on board with it. Like, Todd Howard came out and was like, we love this. This is great. Capcom obviously allowed their game to be used with it. Resident Evil, I must say Leon looked way worse after. I think he looked better before. Grace looked technically better and worse. Like, yes, there were parts of it made it look better, but you're like, this is just a Yasify filter. Yeah, so the like summary of it is like it changes the look of the game, and it kind of overrides the artist's intent in a way, which, you know, in using generative AI to do it. So it's kind of ripping other people's stuff off to then change how people's games look, which a lot of people aren't on board. It is like an opt-in thing. You know, it is, as far as I know, and it is optional. But the real concern is that, you know, how DLSS is a great thing, but it's made devs lazier. Games don't have to like we were at a point games were starting to run 4K 60 frames on PC on like still high-end graphics cards, but not like the top of the top. We were getting to that point. Now they can't do that natively unless you use DLSS, because they're just getting lazier, because the games don't look much better over the last, you know, 5 years. So it's a concern that people are just going to be like, oh, I can just make this look shitty, and then everyone uses DLSS and makes it look better. So that is a real concern. People say looks unnatural and getting inconsistent results. Like Scrip had also noticed someone's eye was clipping through their closed eyelid, and it currently takes insane hardware. They've got two 5090s running it. However, that will change over time. Like, it will get easier and easier to run as they develop it more. What do you think?
Yeah, it kind of just looks like an Instagram or Snapchat filter has been slapped on Grace. Borderline makes it look like she's got like a light buccal fat removal procedure.
Oh no, that always makes women look worse.
I know.
Every time it's like, do you want to? You know, it's like, oh, do you like a full face? No, I like a gaunt-looking skeletal face. That's what I like in a woman. I like a woman that got a big fucking square jawline. No, I like, you know, who doesn't like some? Not saying, you know, like big fucking gradient cheeks when he's got a fucking big, you know, big nuts in his mouth. Not like that. But like, I don't know, a fuller face I think looks good. I don't know. All these models and celebrities get it, and you're like, the big one was Erin Moriarty from The Boys. And you're like, oh, you looked so pretty before you did that. What do you? Maybe she thinks she looks better. I don't know, man. But yeah, it does kind of have that.
It's not just women getting it. Like, fucking, have you seen what Lenny Kravitz looks like these days?
Yes, only because I saw him at
Armageddon,
the Game Awards.
He wasn't at Armageddon.
I wasn't there, just for the record. I saw the video, the Game Awards. Or whatever. Was it the Game Awards? Yeah, when he came in, he was like, I'm the villain in James Bond. And we're showing this game off for the 30th time.
But yeah, he had the real, like, fucking, the Chad, like, jaw and, like, the chiseled chin, but you can just tell it's because of work's being done.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a shame, and people get addicted to it as well, and they try to do more and more. Like the woman there, like, I'm going to get giant inflatable balloons in my chest, and you're like, why? I'm going to make my lips look like this.
And
like, why?
A little bit, a little bit of a. I can see why Lenny Kravitz did it, because pretty sure the man's 60.
He does look pretty good for 60, to be honest. He's in great shape.
And he's got a pace on him.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. As they're playing that show, and then the hog got unleashed. Look, I never saw the hog myself, but I've heard the tales. Yeah, Hogwarts Legacy was one of the other games as well. That they aged a 15-year-old to make him look 35, essentially. They were like, look how much better he looks, and you're like, bro, the reason he didn't have wrinkles and had a smooth face is because he's 15 years old here. What are we doing? So we will see with any technology like this as well. It is early days, so I'm not. You know how I am with this. I'm not just gonna shit on like a Gen 1 like real bad, because I know that these things will get better. But right now I'm kind of like, yeah, I don't need this. I'm not particularly interested.
Please, sir, may I have less?
Dude, I heard an interesting comparison though, because people are like, oh, but it goes against the original like developers, like the intent, right, to do this. And someone's like, yeah, what about mods? You're like, fair point. Someone's like, well, the mods are made by people and it's not AI. But I've played many great mods of games, mostly From Software ones, my favorite fucking studio. And I've played mods of their games that, yes, they're not the developer's intent, and they're fucking great mods. I think, and that's going against their intent. Sometimes people play visual overhauls of games and download new shader packs and things like that. And it's like, well, should you do that if that's against developer intent, even though if it's made by a person? I just think it's an interesting contrast. I think you're going to be a DLSS5 day one stan, Stephen. I think you're going to yassify everyone. You're going to be like, oh, Ryu looks so cool, yassified like this. Look at Blanca's flowing locks.
Look at Alex.
They never heard of him.
Really? Because he's been popping off on Twitter. He's been popping up on fucking Reddit because of the same fucking thing.
We're going to get to that. Right? Don't worry. I was hoping you hadn't heard. I told the boys last night, I was like, if Steven hasn't heard about this, I'm going to fucking spring it on him at the end of the episode.
It's all I've seen.
Yeah. So, alright, so NVIDIA and AMD and Intel back Microsoft's plan to fix shader compilation, because they compile them. Compilation stutter. There's a weird, I want to say compilation. I'm like, I don't think you pronounce it that way. I think is it spelt the same? I don't know, mate. I'm not a scholar. I'm a fucking idiot. So NVIDIA's announced support for Microsoft's new advanced shader delivery technology, which I'm pretty sure that was all caps when they announced it. Advanced shader delivery technology. The feature is designed to address shader compilation. I'm going to say compilation, fuck it. Stutter in PC games that will arrive on RTX cards later this year. And yeah, this makes sense to me that Microsoft is going to be more interested now in PC gaming with Project Helix. They want to make sure that their games aren't stuttering. A big culprit of this has been Unreal Engine as well. Unreal Engine games often have a stutter. We've seen games that don't and some that do. And Tim Sweeney has said himself that he's like, this is because people are not optimizing early, and we're going to help developers actually do this, which is cool. But if Windows can become a better platform for gaming, and they're going to have their Xbox mode, this is good news.
Good news, everyone.
Yeah, so we love that. It is some great news. Hopefully it's, like I said, it should be later this year for NVIDIA at least, and then I imagine AMD and Intel will follow. So yeah, good stuff. So 2 unrelated games released under the name Piece by Piece on the same day. So the developers of both games decided to bundle them together for a 10% discount, which I think is fucking awesome. Like, what are the chances they were like, oh, fuck, someone else is releasing a game called Piece by Piece on the same day?
Was one a Lego game?
Neither of them are Lego game.
Damn.
So, great name for a Lego game, though, but it's probably too late. They both look like quite different games as well. So, I hope they're both successful. I hope this has brought some more eyes to them as well, because, yeah, that's a fun thing. It's not like I had the name first. No, we had the name first, blah, blah, blah. They just like, we accept that we both had the same name. That's fine. Let's make something of this. So, I love that. So this one is a kind of a depressing story. So some RAM kits are now being sold with one RAM module and one fake stick to fill in a slot on the board for aesthetics. So AI data centers are expected to use about 70% of the world's RAM supply by 2026.
That's egregious.
That's so much fucking RAM, bro. That's absurd. But this is hilarious. I saw some of the kits and it's like, here's a real RAM stick, here's a fake one side by side, and they both look the part. But, yeah,
I'm kind of hoping with the dud one, it has like googly eyes on it.
Yeah. Look, that's a good idea. I've got to be able to tell them apart. Stick them on. I'm sure it says on there, this is not a RAM stick. Heavy as the crown.
Yeah, but then someone's just going to like buy the RAM kits, take the fake one, repackage a bunch of them, and sell them to someone on like Marketplace.
Dude, absolutely. I've got a Marketplace story for you today, actually.
Yui.
So, what's considered like the best office chair overall is the Herman Miller Aeron is considered like the best office chair. New, they're like $2,500 New Zealand. They're absurdly expensive, and they're not easy to find second hand here. Someone put one on Facebook Marketplace for $300, and I'm like, bro, I'm fucking all over this. This is the chair right there. That's what I want. So I sent a message saying, hey, I'm keen, and they're like, cool. And, just chatting to them. I was like, cool. I can pick up when works for you. And they're like, Sunday in the morning. I'm like 9 a.m. They're like, cool. Here's the address. So they sent me an address. I'm like, wicked. I'll see you then. They messaged me a little later, being like, hey, just so we know that you're keen, can you send me a deposit? I was like, what? They're like, yeah, we'd like if you'd send us a deposit. And I'm like, no, this is Facebook Marketplace. I'm not sending you a deposit. I'm telling you that I will be there. I've got a 5-star rating. I will be there at 9 a.m. to pick the chair up. It's like, oh, well, me and my husband would prefer if you could pay $100 now and then pay the rest in cash. And Facebook had flagged being like, yo, this is suspicious. And I said to them, hey, yeah, this is starting to sound like a scam. Facebook has already flagged you as suspicious. They didn't reply to me. So the thing is that, like, I think that they sent me an address to be like, look, we've sent you an address, right? So you know that it's going to be fine to pick it up. They probably just send you a random address, and then you give them some money as the deposit. You go to pick it up, you knock on the door, and they're like, what chair? What are you talking about? And they've given you some random address. So, yeah. Do not give people money before you get the goods on Facebook Marketplace. Do not do it.
No.
And vice versa. Someone's like, oh, bro, I'll do a bank transfer. You go, nah, bro, pay me cash. It's fucking Marketplace. I ain't doing that. If you're using like TradeMe or eBay or anything like that, there are systems in place to stop you from getting scammed. Marketplace is the Wild West. Do not give people your fucking money until you have the goods. So, yeah. Fuck that bitch. So physical copies of Crimson Desert would not boot until the game actually came out, so people couldn't play them early, which I think's great. I think that's how it should be. This stops leaks and people ruining the game for other people and so on. It's just digital is just so much easier to control. It's like, look, it releases at 7 p.m. on Friday. That's it, So I think this is a good idea. A lot of people are like, oh, they've like DRM time locked it. So you shouldn't be entitled to play their game early.
No.
You are not entitled to their hard work early. Fuck you. So yeah, I think this is a good thing, and I actually hope that that Rockstar implement this for Grand Theft Auto, because that's a game that you definitely do not like you don't want everything leaking or people getting that early and ruining it for everyone. And
It's like when I got Ninja Gaiden 4, I'd been playing for a couple of hours, and I just looked up Ninja Gaiden 4 on like YouTube, and there were videos. It's like how to beat the final boss with this weapon, and it's just like all weapons and blood variants. I was like, what the fuck?
yeah. And look, sometimes it's like this who's that?
Sweaty?
Who is it? Is it Koei Tecmo and Platinum? Was it that did it?
Yes.
Team Ninja.
Yes.
So Koei Tecmo was like publisher. It's Team Ninja, I think, developed it. Team Ninja and Platinum Games. So like they might reach out to them, Koei Tecmo and Xbox. Yeah, or maybe Xbox publisher. I can't remember anymore. But they reach out to them and go, "Hey, do you want a key to review it or whatever?" And you go, "Cool." So maybe some of them were people that did get it early, but
because when you boot it up, it's just like it does the whole Koei Tecmo, but then it says like Xbox Studios. So
yeah. Which number was it? Is that 4?
4, the latest one.
Yeah, I couldn't remember the number. I did beat it just for the record. So it is published by Xbox Game Studios, developed by Team Ninja and Platinum, and I think that Team Ninja is a Koei Tecmo owned studio. So that's why their name comes up. So yeah, makes sense. So another Crimson Desert story was that so it has launched with middling reviews. Now it's out. It's 78 on Metacritic, which looks that's not bad. I think that everybody's metric is that if it's under 8, it's bad, and 78 is not a bad game at all, right? But the biggest problem the game has is that the first 8 hours are apparently a slog. Like, apparently, like the first 8 hours of the game are rough, and that's a lot to ask for people. And yes, they've made an MMO before, so that's very MMO coded. And like our mate Hamish, who is enjoying it, originally people said that Final Fantasy XIV, the first 40 hours of it were rough, which is so much time, bro. That is absurd amount of time. Especially like think about the game Inside, right? I adore Inside. I love being inside. You know, it's just great. Oh, what a time! But I spent 7.5 hours on Inside, right? And I did a lot of the extra stuff in it. You could finish the entire game. You could probably, really, if you were just kind of hustling through it, you could finish that game twice in the time it takes for Crimson Desert to get good, which is rough. And that's a game I'm like, that was a masterpiece. It took me less time to beat that than it takes for this to get good. So it is a lot to ask for players, but once you're in it, the exploration is apparently amazing. Story's apparently okay.
Math.
But there's a heap of like fun mechanics in it and a lot of like physics-based stuff. And
Which is good, because I mean, you can get away with a story if it's fun to play. Dude, speaking of Crimson Desert, at work, one of our delivery drivers was picking up some TVs, and he was just like, man, so I don't get paid by the hour. I get paid per delivery I do. It's just like, I have no more deliveries today, so I'm gonna go home. And I was like, oh yeah, what's on the menu? What you got planned? He's just like, bro, I got a new LG TV so I can play Crimson Desert. And I was like, hey!
He's keen.
On his PlayStation, his PS5 Pro.
Oh, hell yeah. Apparently it runs great on the PS5 Pro. It was, so the first few days, apparently it ran quite average on the base PS5, and there's been some patches since, and it was like, people have been quite impressed with how fast they put patches out, which is cool. So, yeah, I do want to play. I actually had pre-ordered it on Steam, and I just realized as time went on, I was like, I do not have time to play this. I don't have time for this fucking massive open world game. I just don't. So, it ain't happening for me right now. So I'm going to pick it up again later. I want some more patches as well to come out. And people think they're going to rework the early game as well to make it a little less of a slog. So Bill said you could almost just cut past the first 8 hours. You could just go, you start here now. So yeah, we'll see what happens anyway with more patches and so on. It looks like a very ambitious game. So really cool that they've wanted to do that, to make something so ambitious for their first single player game. So hopefully they can keep updating it and making it better.
Are you wearing a shirt that says Keith?
I'm wearing my Keith shirt.
Oi, gives us a proper look.
Oh, yeah, mate. Alex got it for me.
Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah.
She, what did I say? Goofy boy, and she was gonna say autistic on there instead, and I was like, look, I would be less comfortable wearing a shirt that says autistic on it.
I just saw like the top letters. And I was like, this man wearing his dog shirt? That is mint.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I wondered if you'd notice. I was like, if you didn't know, I was gonna do a little reveal later if you didn't notice, but you did, so it's good.
What do you reckon Hey?
Look at you observing things, eh?
What do you reckon you'll buy first? Crimson Desert or Pragmata?
I think Pragmata. Because I think Pragmata is going to probably be pretty good out the gate, pretty smooth, and after playing the demo, I was like, this is fucking good, man. It's good shit.
I want to get both of them, but I probably won't day one Pragmata.
Yeah. What we need to do, Stephen, is need to get your fucking Steam sharing thing sorted, so then I can buy it and you can play it, and then we can do the reverse for Crimson Desert.
Yes, because I saw the thing come up and I still having the same issue. So maybe do you want to sometime either screen share for me or Parsec?
Yeah, we'll do that at some point and see if we can get it working. And it might be because you were part of a Steam family before and there's a cooldown period or something, but we'll figure that out when we get there.
I have been seeing the notifications and I press on them each time.
Okay, cool. That's all good. I had a look every now and again. I'm like, he's not part of it. I'm going to send him another request. Yeah, that'd be cool. And look, that way, we could both save money on games.
True. Gaming economically with the homies.
Yeah, dude. You getting access to me and Script's library, insane. We have so many fucking games between us, is absurd.
And Script gets access to Trails in the Sky remake. That's all I can offer him.
There we go. Everybody wins. Some win more than others.
You guys are making a full-on roast meal for me, and I was like, yeah, I bought some sizzlers. I had 3 of them.
Yeah, I had them cold out the bag, but you can have the rest.
No,
how many games? I own 2,800 games on Steam.
It's not even in the packet. It's in my pocket. So here you go. Here you go. Just dust it off. It'll be fine.
Yeah, get rid of that lint, mate. It should be right. Stephen, you said what the kind of guy who would throw a whole bag of sizzlers,
Fuck no. Fuck.
One at a time, though. One at a time.
Yeah, do the whole thing of
Delicious. So Adobe has settled for $150 million after the US government said they made cancelling subscriptions too hard. They hid early cancellation fees and forced people through confusing screens just to quit. So the deal includes $75 million fine and $75 million in credits to affected customers. This is great. This is not even gaming related technically, but I had to include it because Adobe is a slimy fucking company and this is a big win for consumers. So I'm glad to see the US government saying, fuck you, Adobe. It sucks when the company that has the gold standard for certain products is just a slimy, greasy fucking company. So your video editing stuff, your Photoshop, all of that kind of stuff is all under their umbrella. So it's we're the only shop in town, so fuck you.
Makes me feel a little less guilty for using a pirated copy of Photoshop when I was in high school, I guess.
Damn, has the statute of limitations passed on that? Adobe's coming. Oh, there's a knock on your door, Stephen. It's the Adobe secret police. Yeah, that's the thing, man. If you are like a scumbag asshole company, people won't feel bad about doing that though. I'm not saying you should do it, but I understand if you did do it and you felt no remorse for doing so. It's not an endorsement.
No.
I would never endorse Adobe for president. Yeah, so I just wanted to mention the big fuck you to Adobe. So this was a big surprise. Duskbloods wins most anticipated game at the Famitsu Game Awards over GTA 6.
Ooh.
Man, the Japanese audience, bro, they know what they want, eh? They're like, we don't give a fuck about Grand Theft Auto, bro. We want another From Software banger and we want it on the Switch too. So this excited me. There is a lot of hype for it in Japan, which is great. So yeah, fuck yeah, bro.
Hell
Fuck
yeah.
It's good shit.
That's what's up.
This was a wild thing I saw on Twitter. So when the Oscars were happening, Jeff Keighley was feuding with the Oscars. So his dad was not mentioned in the memoriam segment of the broadcast. His father was one of the key figures responsible for IMAX, which is doing a lot to keep cinemas alive, to be honest. Like, a lot of people, there's a lot of hype around people seeing movies in IMAX. Not that we have one down in Christchurch. There's two in New Zealand, both in the North Island. But yeah, and I've seen a lot of it in the past, that his dad actually was a massive figure in making IMAX happen. So he should have been a part of that memoriam section. So I completely understand. The CEO of, I'm gonna say
Ampas.
how it reads, mate. Ampas, AMPAS, has now blocked Jeff Keighley on Twitter. He fucking blocked him after Jeff Keighley was calling out, being like, "This is disrespectful to my father." And many people were just posting the "fuck the Oscars" gif from the Game Awards when Joseph Fares won for the Game of the Year for It Takes Two. And he's like talking about Gas Up Game Awards. He's like, "Fuck the Oscars." It was an iconic moment. He's such a legend. So everyone's posting that GIF. Yeah, man, that is awesome to see. To see like everybody get behind Jeff Keighley, because Jeff Keighley gets a lot of shit for no fucking reason. Like all the high guard stuff as well. People are like, "I trusted you, Jeff. You let me down." Blah blah blah. And it's like, bro, he just thought the game was cool and gassed it up at his show. Like. Everyone's been real hard on him, and then this happens and everyone rallies behind him, which
And
is
he just
awesome.
seems like a sweet man.
Seems like a good dude. He's actually a genuine gamer. Yes, he makes a good amount of money. Man's already a millionaire anyway, but he just loves video games and wants to celebrate games. So I've always, Game Awards doesn't get everything right, but I've always stood by, I think he is one of the best people we could have advocating for this. So yeah, glad the community got behind him, but sad that the Oscars snubbed his dad for that whole thing. And yeah, I mean, Game Awards is probably later this year is gonna fucking get 9 times the viewership of the Oscars again anyway, so more people care about this than they care about the fucking Oscars. So
Yeah.
shout out Jeff Keighley.
Shout out.
This is a wild one. So
Yeah, I know a little bit about this, and I know the end result.
Yeah, pretty crazy. So judge orders Subnautica 2 studio CEO fired by Krafton to be reinstated and let him handle its early access release. So Ted Gill has been reinstated as a CEO of Unknown Worlds, and he now gets to decide when and how Subnautica 2 launches in early access. So there was a $250 million worth of bonuses that were tied to the game's success, but it had to come out in 2025 in early access, and it had to sell well. It had to meet a bunch of conditions for them to for him and the studio to get the bonuses. So Krafton essentially fired him and delayed the game so that they wouldn't be able to get the bonuses for it. Super fucking scumbag move. So Krafton own Unknown World. And the court filings say that Krafton's CEO used ChatGPT to brainstorm ways to avoid paying the bonus. Bro, such a fucking scumbag, eh? Like, it's corporate sabotage, is what it is. Absolutely fucking crazy. So, this court is like, fuck you. He's back as the CEO. Bonuses are back on the table. And he now gets to decide. And if anything, it's probably been to his benefit, the CEO's benefit, because now the game's had more time to cook in that early access period too. And it's actually, it probably will do better now because of that. So I hope what he does is he gets back in the studio, he makes his money, he gets all the bonuses he can, and then once the bonuses have dried up, he fucking leaves and goes, I'm starting my own studio. Fuck you guys. And gets the fuck out.
Yeah.
Krafton, you fucking suck. You fucking scumbags. Yeah. Krafton, the other guys that own, I think they own PUBG now as well. That's their whole thing. They did that game with the creator of... it was the creator of Dead Space. I can't remember if that studio closed down or not. The Callisto Protocol was the game's striking distance. Yeah, that might be gone. So Krafton, yeah, not a fan of those kind of practices, eh? Utter scumbag move. Okay, I can't say that the striking distance has actually been closed down. I thought they were, but I think they just did a lot of layoffs, so they might still be kicking. IO Interactive ends Mind's Eye publishing collaboration. And they're doing a crossover with Hitman, and that is no longer going to happen. And man, IO, this was their first time out as a publisher, not just publishing their own game. They were like, we're going to get out there, we're going to publish someone else's game, we're going to do this thing. And Builder Rocket Boy put out this fucking steaming heap of shit and tried to say everybody sabotaged them and all of that and blah, blah, blah. Which some stuff came out that it's like there might be some truth to it, but probably not to what they were saying. It's like the game was just bad regardless. So I feel bad for IO in this whole thing because they would have lost a lot of money. So they were publishing this game with the promise that their next game, which they talked about, was going to be the bigger, more impressive thing. So hopefully IO can make enough money off the upcoming Hitman DLCs and so on and elusive targets that they can still stay afloat. Because I imagine they lost fucking, if not $100 million, maybe tens of millions of dollars at the minimum, I would say, from this deal. So got a feel for them. You're a Mind's Eye fan, aren't you, Stephen?
No, dude. When we initially saw the trailers for it, I was just like, I feel like I've seen this game before.
Yeah, I remember because some people were on board for it, some people were critical of it, but I was like, this looks really generic. Like, It doesn't look like a terrible game from the trailers, but it just looked painfully generic. Like, it just looked like everything else. It looked like, oh, look, Ubisoft is doing another Watch Dogs Division kind of game. You know, it looked like nothing remarkable, and then it turned out it was worse than that.
Third person shooter starring John Mind's Eye.
Yeah, so I'm not opposed to having white male characters, by the way, but they use generic white male protagonists. Like he couldn't have been more generic. So yeah. Charlie Cox has said that he's going to star in another video game, and he said it'll be more work, I'll be more involved. And to me, I'm like, after his performance as Gustav in Expedition 33, I'm like, bro, I want to see more Charlie Cox in games. That's awesome. This is great. We know nothing about the game. All we know is that he is going to be a bigger part in it than he was in E33, which he already got fucking nominated for, like, Performance of the Year. So, yeah. Wicked. Really cool.
He was essentially Mr. Tutorial Man.
Yeah. Yeah, and he was in there. we can't say too much.
No, great game. Go play.
Great game, and if you want to see Charlie Cox's amazing performance and Ben Starr and Jennifer English, they were the big three that got nominated. Dude, also Andy Serkis is fucking outstanding in that game. Underrated. Just so fucking good. Everyone's great as well. Everyone else, all the supporting characters. So, do try it.
Okay, Dilma.
I come from a long line of Dilmars, okay? You don't understand. We've been making tea for years. I had a wee herbal tea today with my lunch. Beautiful. Little blood orange, the edgiest of flavors. Good shit.
More of a lemon man.
Oh, you fucking would be. Lemon's actually the original flavour, so
No.
I love lemon.
It's like having a lem sip minus the fucking medicinal part.
Minus the sip.
Yeah, I'm just having lem.
I got a cup of lem. Dude, my mum, shout out Muscle Man. Growing up, I had a friend called Liam, and my mum always pronounced his name Lem, and it does my head, and it's like, bro, you're missing other letters in there, mate. What's going on? Liam, nah, Lem.
Lem.
Yeah, he called him Lean on that scissor. So there's a Switch 2 update that has come out that's enabled docked mode, like performance, for Switch 1 games when you're playing Switch 2 in handheld mode. So that improves the performance and frame rate and some in resolution in some games as well. This is a really cool update. This is a really good idea because the docked mode has always been more just better performing on the Switch 1. So yeah. Just cool to just get a little more performance out of these games. Might make Astral Chain actually playable in handheld, so that's cool.
Yay!
It's a game I still want to play, but I'm like, if I could play this game at even 1080p 60 frames, I'd probably be on board. But it's like, yeah, right now you got to play this game at 720p 25 frames, and sometimes drops. I'm like, oh, I don't know, man. Looks awesome though.
There is a scene, a part in Astral Chain, not spoilers or anything, but you enter like a boss fight and it's raining, starts raining. As soon as you get in the fight, you notice the frames drop. Almost like,
yeah.
Whoa!
All these particles, and the game's like, nah, bro, you're getting 15 frames.
Great game.
Dude, it's fucking like one of those like porn stars or what's that hardcore porn. They always have these sus names, but it's like, yeah, best I can do is 15 frames. Yeah, but that's a game that is high up on my list, dude. I also as far as Switch goes, I also really want to play ARMS at some point, because originally I heard you could only play motion controls. I'm like, fuck, I don't want to play that. And then I heard, it's actually really good on joypad. I'm like, oh man, I missed out on ARMS. I actually think aesthetically, ARMS is awesome. I actually think aesthetically, it's really, really slept on. I think it's one of the best looking Nintendo franchises.
Because I played the ARMS demo, or maybe I bought, but I was just like, it's sad that IP didn't get more traction, because it's like a Nintendo fighting game. I was like, that's awesome.
Yeah. And I wonder, because Nintendo's really good at, they don't often just kill franchises. Like, some people like, wasn't successful enough, we're never doing another one. Like, Nintendo puts out, yes, there was a long delay for Metroid Prime 4. Metroid games have never sold well, ever. And Nintendo will still make Metroid games. So there is hope for ARMS. There really is. I could see them still doing another ARMS, maybe at the end or halfway through the Switch's life cycle. Switch 2, sorry. I think it would be a good idea. You just keep trying. Fire Emblem was not that popular until the Switch. There's been Fire Emblem games since, like, for fucking how long? Like they've been, it's a long running franchise. And yeah, it's just it took them a long time to have any major success.
There was another game, Nintendo exclusive, that didn't really get traction. It was called Ninjala. Where it's like basically third person fighting game sort of, but you have bubblegum. And I was like, oh, I'll play this. And I remember getting a couple of hits on someone, and then they just body me. It's like, this is a fucking kid's game. I don't care. Uninstalled.
There's a free-to-play multiplayer action video game. So, yeah, it looks like a Switch exclusive, but not Nintendo published. This one, but yeah, I mean, art style looks. I mean, it looks like Splatoon, to be honest.
It does, yeah.
It's got very much a very similar aesthetic to that, except they're not squids; they're ninja children.
Kids.
Yeah. So the first Fire Emblem game came out in 1990. So they've been around a long time, and it took for the Switch to have a massively successful game. They sold, low millions, so it wasn't like they were doing poorly, just they weren't doing amazing, and they still were like, oh, we'll just keep putting them out. We've got a fan base for it. Pikmin games also didn't do well historically, and they just put them out. So there is hope for ARMS, and I like that about Nintendo. Some people I like that Sony will kind of like, we're done with the franchise and put it down and move on to something else.
So yeah, but two franchises they sort of have kind of buried and only been kept alive through Smash. F-Zero.
Yep.
And Kid Icarus.
Kid Icarus got a game. When was the last?
It was a 3DS game that
3DS?
gave you hand cramp.
Yeah, you needed to buy an attachment to the Circle Pad Pro, or the game was just fucking unplayable.
Because I'm pretty sure the game out the box, it has a little stand, and they sort of expect you to have it on the stand and you play like this.
Yeah, it is a little ridiculous, but that's one that's still got one. But yeah, F-Zero has been a long time. I wouldn't be surprised if the last one might have been Game Boy Advance, maybe? Yeah, Game Boy Advance in 2004. F-Zero 99 was released in 2023, so it's the Battle Royale style one. But that was kind of not really a full game. Like, it's kind of a half step. But technically, I guess they released one. Yeah. Interesting. So Nintendo is suing the US government. So they're wanting their money back for the tariffs they paid in 2025 after the US Supreme Court ruled that those tariffs were illegal, and they want their money back with interest as well. They want that because inflation has gone up so much as well that they're like, yeah, the money we paid is worth more now, so fucking give us that money. Their story's so good that I fucking copy and pasted it twice. That's what I'm doing. Yeah, I think this is... I think they should be entitled to this, to be quite honest. I absolutely think that they should get this fucking money. And because, like I said, so the Supreme Court has said, yeah, these were illegal. Is this completely really fucked them up? That's why the Switch 2 was most likely delayed, because they were trying to get around all these tariffs and trying to think of clever ways to do it. And if they were manufactured in Taiwan versus Thailand versus Philippines, or wherever they were manufacturing them, certain countries would have different prices of tariffs, and it would be cheaper to get the stock from here into America and here for the rest of the world. It was a whole fucking mess, logistical fucking nightmare. That cost them a lot of money. And I'm a big believer that I'm not an anti-tariff person in the right situation, but I think they should only exist on products that your country does not produce. Right? America's not making Nintendo Switches. I don't think that they should tariff them. The idea of the tariffs is that you're wanting to promote, buy American-made goods, right? Buy this American one versus this Chinese product, right? But if you don't make the product, then you're just ultimately passing on, like, the extra money that Nintendo's paying, the consumers are going to end up paying for in the long run. They're like, oh, well, we've got to mark our price up because we're going to pay the tariffs. Like, you actually kind of help no one in this situation, except I guess I was going to say yourself, but no, not even really yourself in a way. Like, yeah, you make a little money, but you just hurt the consumers. So I think, yeah, fucking sue them, Nintendo. This might be the only time I'm on Nintendo's side for them suing someone. So, what do you think?
Oh, I'm all for it. But I do like the idea of just a bunch of like execs from Nintendo just storming the courthouse, all wearing just the Mario hats.
Yeah.
And they're like, give us our money. No, they all eat mushrooms, grow a bit taller. They're like, give us our money.
The Japanese, he's a 5'5" Japanese businessman. They take the mushroom and they do it 5'8". It's like, oh, scary. They take the mega mushroom and they're just like 6'1", and they're still like, Donald Trump is still towering over them. I can't remember how tall he's supposed to be, but he's supposed to be over. I think he's supposed to be over 6 foot. I'm not sure. Get out the ruler, measure him. Yeah, he's supposed to be He's supposed to be 6'3", but people are like seeing like him next to people. I'm like, he ain't 6'3" anymore. He's shrunk.
He is quite hunch.
Yeah, hunchback of Notre Trump.
Hunchback of Mar-a-Lago.
They call me a hunchback. I'm the best hunchback. No one hunches their back like I do.
No one can. They call it a hunch. I call it an arch.
I'm really more of an archback. Yeah, so hopefully Nintendo actually wins out on that one. So Nintendo has also improved the Switch 2 GameCube emulation. So runs smoother, it looks more accurate and feels more responsive, which is great. Good news. Good stuff from Nintendo. I feel like Nintendo is someone that we're normally pretty critical of, to be honest. So, but yeah, I'm good stuff. We love seeing the tech get better.
Speaking of which, dude, I was playing because the GF wanted to play some of the old Pokemon games, like Nintendo 64. So we were just playing the mini games in Pokemon Stadium 2.
Yeah.
Fun.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Yeah.
They got a great back catalogue.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, I don't have the Switch Online at the moment. I've had it very briefly in the past, but people are like, it's pretty fucking good value, to be honest. People are pretty happy with it now. When they first launched it, people were like, this is bullshit. What am I paying for? And they just kept adding on to it. And there are higher tiers as well if you want to pay, like play the GameCube games and that. But people are pretty happy with the value they get out of it. So, yeah, it's cool. This one might be a little controversial. Once again, it is Nintendo. We got the Nintendo block. Bro, I'm getting so much better at blocking these things together. Look at me go. I'm a professional, bro. I know what I'm doing. It only took me like 30 episodes to start doing this, but I started getting there. But Yoshi the Mysterious Book is launching at 70 USD physically and 60 USD digitally. And some people are like, oh, you shouldn't be penalized for getting a physical copy. But we've always known that the physical games, it costs the companies more money. They've got to pay for the boxes, they've got to pay for freight, they've got to pay for, if it's a disc, the printing on the disc of the game or on the cartridge. There's a pretty significant cost. And obviously the more units you get produced, the less the cost is on doing it. But this is how it should have always been. And I know that there's certain things about, well, we don't want to hurt the retailers and so on, but the digital games should have always cost less than the physical. It just makes sense. That's what it costs for a physical good versus digital. That's how it's always been, pretty much for everything else.
No, I'm in the same camp.
And I don't want the retailers to get hurt over this, but at the same time, it just makes sense. It just does. So this is something that originally Sony did with the Vita was that the digital games were $5 cheaper than the physical. But then they just kind of stopped doing that altogether. And then they started doing their dynamic pricing. Fuck those guys. So, yeah, I actually, as much as... I think when this is good, because this game was probably going to be a $70 game on both, to be quite honest. I don't think it was going to be 60 USD. The difference is if you mark up the games by $10, then you're like, oh, that's kind of gross. If they went, oh, it's going to be 70 for the digital and 80 for the physical, you'd be like, probably wasn't an $80 game. But I think if you make it $10 cheaper, then I am on board for that for sure.
Have you seen
We'll see if
Yoshi
anyone follows suit.
Have you seen Yoshi and the Mysterious Book?
I've seen a little bit, but it's not for me, man.
Nah.
Yoshi games are like they are for 5-year-olds.
Dude, it's funny you should say that because, again, this fucking was on the Switch, on the MIDI Switch, and I was like, oh, a new Yoshi game. And she's like, do you want to check it out? I was like, yeah. And I wasn't getting secondhand embarrassment, but I was just like, especially with the way that the whimsical way that the narrator was narrating everything, I was just like, oh, this is a fucking kid's game. This game is for literal children. No hate, because Woolly World looked pretty cool, but I was just like, oh, not for me, eh? I need a game with a little bit more hair on its chest.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you enjoy Yoshi games, you're a bitch, no? There's nothing wrong with that. The games look really cute, very, very whimsical. Art style is great. The aesthetic is beautiful. I really dig the aesthetic. But I remember seeing the trailer for this, and I was like, this is baby's first platformer. And that's who I think they market towards. And that's cool. It's good to have cast a wide net.
Though Yoshi's Island was pretty mint.
That game was actually kind of tough too.
Yeah,
the Nintendo 64 one. Oh, sorry, Yoshi's Story. Sorry, I was thinking of Yoshi's Island. Was that the
SNES to Game Boy Advance?
Yeah. That game had some challenge to it as well, for sure. Yeah, both of them. Yeah, also great aesthetic in those too. Yeah, good stuff, man. Good stuff.
I had because of your emulating, I used to get so frustrated as a kid because there was like a mini game where there would be this guy and it's just like, oh, you need to pump the ball faster than the other person. It's like, press B because it's an emulated game. They're going off the fact that the idea that it's like this was intended for like a SNES or whatnot, and I'm bashing the fuck out of B and it's doing nothing. It's like this game is lying to me. But then I realised that, oh, to me, it's X or Z.
That makes sense. Bashing B's fucking work. Yeah, so I don't know. One of these days I'll learn if it's 8-bit do or 8-bit do. I've heard 8-bit do, but I just read it as 8-bit do.
I've heard
it's
it.
8-bit do.
The price is on the can, though. No, I too am like this, but I hear people talk about it's like, talking about a controller they need for the Switch, and it's like, oh, mate, it's like, 8-bit do. It's great. And I was like, so it is do.
So it is do?
I don't know.
I don't know, do.
I don't know, do. Oh, sorry. Yeah, no, I'm not sure. But I say 8-bit do.
Yeah, I mean, that's just how it reads to me, you know? It just reads to me as 8-bit do. I don't read it as 8-bit do. I know, technically, do, the English word do, that makes sense, but it just, I don't know. It just looks like a do to me.
8-bit do what?
Dear. Exactly, that's what I'm saying, do. So, Mugenics has released a patch, and has one of the most outrageous fucking lines I've ever seen. I thought this was so funny in a patch note. fixed case where a non-binary cat with dwarfism would crash game if playing in Brazilian Portuguese. Like, what a combination of things it had to have. You had to be a non-binary cat with dwarfism and playing in Brazilian Portuguese. Like, fucking wild. Absolutely wild. That's so funny to me. I love eugenics. Game of the year. Meta has announced that they're shutting down the metaverse after pouring $80 billion into it. Billion with a B.
Billion.
That's crazy. So Snoop Dogg built a virtual world in the metaverse, and a plot of land sold next to his for $450,000. Crazy. Deadmau5 also owns virtual land in there. Meta seems to fail at everything they do. Facebook is successful. Instagram is successful. They bought Instagram. They didn't build it themselves. And I'm a fan of VR, but VR is really struggling right now. Meta keeps laying off all their fucking studios. And I know they're pivoting some of the VR stuff into wearables, and I think there is a potential future in wearables. They're doing pretty well with it overall. Like, I don't think it's making a lot of money, but they're pretty good at it. Like the Ray-Bans with the cameras and stuff and kind of HUD in them. I think it's gotten much better, and it's cool tech. But I don't know, man. Like, I think it's good they're trying to diversify, because they're like, we might not just have Facebook forever, and how many we've already sold everyone's data to everyone, so who the fuck else is buying their data at this point? So yeah, I don't think the metaverse was it. Dude, when Mark Zuckerberg released that fucking thing of his dumbass looking emoji character, it was fucking over from the start. It was funny. Every time he talked about the metaverse, the stock went down. Every fucking time. And there must have people on the board being like, Mark, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Yeah, so I want Meta to do well because I want more VR, but I just don't think it's happening. I don't know how much more money they're going to pour into VR for it to just keep losing money. So we'll see, dude. It's dire when Apple couldn't fucking do it either. Apple put out their fucking $7,000 New Zealand headset, $3.5 USD, and it flopped hard, which is not a good sign for VR. Because we were all hoping, we're like, yeah, Apple's going to come in, and even though we're not Apple fans, they're going to legitimize VR. No, they didn't make a fucking dent. And yes, it is better in most ways than the Oculus, like the Meta Quest headset, right? But I saw Mark Zuckerberg doing these comparisons of it, and it's like, okay, what are these comparisons? Look how much more we can do on our headsets than they can do on theirs, and it was crazy how much more they could do. And it's like, okay, yes, this is made out of better materials. This costs you, a fifth of the price to get one of these, and it does more, and it plays games, it does this. Yes, the Apple headset, the clarity's a little better. Is it worth 5 times the price? No. Yeah, but sad to see VR's probably gonna die a slow death unless some big changes happen with people adopting it. Ubisoft is closing down Red Storm Entertainment. So there's a loss of 105 jobs. So Red Storm was founded in 1996 and created the Rainbow Six Siege and Ghost Recon games. So they've been around a long time. One of the early kind of Ubisoft studios. So yeah, it is sad to hear, man, about this and see this historic studio close down. But given what Ubisoft's long-term plans are, I get it. Like, we need games that fit into these particular categories under these umbrellas, and if you're not it, we're going to close you down. So I understand it, but sad to see.
Damn. 1996. Good run, though. Good run.
Yeah, good run. Good run. I saw that Epic Games is laying off 1,000 staff as well. They're just saying that. They're just like, we have... Fortnite has been on the decline a little bit. We're just not having the growth that we once had. We're just going to lay off 1,000 people. I I don't think it's doing like poorly. It's just not doing its peak numbers, I think. So
Is it because they've spent a lot of money like syncing for getting these IPs?
I mean, they're probably pretty large overheads, and I think getting the IPs is probably one of those big costs as well. So it's probably one of the factors. I imagine it is a very, very expensive game to maintain because it's like we've got obviously the Battle Royale mode, and then they've got other kind of building. I don't know if Save the World is still actually a thing.
They've got the racing one and the rock band one and the Lego
the racing
one.
And the rhythm game and all of that stuff. They did their first-person shooter one that came out, which I remember seeing and thinking, this looks really fucking good, but I don't know if it actually really took off. So, yeah, I think it's probably a very expensive game to maintain, and they just... Yeah, we're getting rid of 1,000 people. And Tim Sweeney's like, oh, dude, but think about all the opportunities we're giving to these other businesses. Look, there's 1,000 great CVs coming your way now. And you're like, this feels like cope. You just be like, look, I've given all these other businesses opportunities by firing these 1,000 people. It's like, dude, you don't get to have the moral high ground here. He's someone I find so polarizing because most people hate everything he says, but I'm kind of like 50-50. Like, that's one that's bad. But some of the other stuff, I'm like, he's kind of spitting here. So, but not this time. CD Projekt Red is working on a new IP called under the name Project Hadar, and it said that it's progressing well. So CEO Michael, oh bro, fucking these fucking Polish names, bro, they kill me every time.
Nakawowski?
He's got a Noah
Mike Wazowski.
Mike Wazowski, bro, he kind of is Mike Wazowski. This is, as far as Polish names goes, this looks pretty reasonable, but bro, they fuck me up. There's W's and K's and all sorts in there, bro. Not that K's inherently making these names complicated, but in this situation, yeah, I don't know. So he said the team has established the foundations of this entirely new IP, designing specific elements that might be included in the game. What? Creating multiple prototypes and implementing them directly into Unreal Engine. Dude, there's something funny about it. Designing specific elements that might be included in the game. Yeah. Oh, yeah, they made a bunch of shit that might be in there. Yeah. I fucking hope so. I hope shit that they made might be in the fucking game. But
Road works
cool
ahead?
Anyway.
Well, I hope it does.
the Drew Gooden classic. So I think this is a good sign. I mean, I still think CD Projekt Red is doing a bit much. They're like, we're working on the new Cyberpunk game. We're working on the new Witcher game. We've got another team remaking The Witcher 1.
There's a new Cyberpunk game coming out.
Yeah, just currently named Cyberpunk 2. So, yeah, there's all sorts. But it's going to be, I believe, also DLC for The Witcher 3, which is rumoured. But I think that's another third party. But, yeah, they've got a lot of spinning plates. And obviously this IP... I just think you want to be focused. I don't think you want any more than 2. I think you want 2 going at a time, but obviously they feel like they could do it. We'll see. The proof will be in the pudding. Hopefully they can make some more good shit. Gearbox is raising the level cap in Borderlands 4 for all players, so from level 50 to level 60 in a major update. They haven't revealed too much, but I was like, man, if you're going to put levels in it, surely there's going to be new skills and things as well. Not just levels for the sake of it, but they haven't really said too much. So. I'm still pissed off at Randy Pitchford, and look, and by still pissed off, I'm probably always going to be pissed off at Randy Pitchford. So I might play it when it goes dirt cheap, but right now, I'm not particularly interested. I'm not paying $83 for. Oh, wait.
Yeah, but if you worked, I don't know, if you worked in an ice cream place, you could buy this game if you really liked it. I forgot the quote.
Yeah. Yeah, you're not wrong, Stephen. You're not wrong. If I saved up, I could buy that expensive game on Sega. Yeah, so Capcom CEO believes PC will become, and quote, the world's leading gaming platform. And they said, I believe that PC will further establish itself as the world's leading gaming platform, which will serve to increase the value of the PC market. And I think this makes a lot of sense because Capcom have been saying they've been selling more copies of their games on PC than any other platform. I think that has not been the case for Resident Evil 9. I think PS5's outsold it, but in general, like Dragon's Dogma, I believe, sold more on PC.
But
and just in general, most of their games do.
That's good and all, but I'm sort of in the mindset where, like, I kind of don't, in my head, I don't want to see PC viewed as, like, rivals with other consoles, because I liked how PC was that middle ground, was it's like, yep, we're making this game, but we're going to release on PC as well. Like when they did Street Fighter 5, it's like Sony PS5, PS4 exclusive, and PC.
So you think that there's going to be more exclusivity deals to exclude PC?
I don't want that to happen at all. At all.
I can see that. I think, though, the one reason why that's less likely to happen going forwards, well, there are reasons why it might happen, there's reasons why it might not. One of them is that PC is being developed now as the primary platform. So you develop it for PC and then you kind of scale it for console, which I think's a good way of developing. But now that Xbox is going to be doing a hybrid PC console and Steam machines and all of that, I could see someone like Sony being like, no, we don't want to be involved in this. And there is a Sony story we'll get to in a moment that might be saying the contrary, but we'll see what happens. But yeah, I love that, especially Japanese gamers as well for a long time didn't embrace PC gaming, and it was really when they started bringing fighting games to PC, and gamers just realized you got a better online experience playing these fighting games on PC. And I still remember it was like a big Japanese tour. It might have been Evo Japan one year, where 7 out of the top 8 players in Tekken were PC gamers, which was like unheard of historically. They were all PlayStation gamers pretty much. And they were like, yeah, we'll pretty much play on PC now. So crazy that it has become legitimized in Japan because it took a long time. And I still think they will prefer console because they have a lot of smaller like living spaces. There's also why the Switch is really popular because it's got a smaller footprint and portability and all of that. So yeah, but shout out Capcom. Just always must feel like making the right moves, The
Capcom
Sony,
redemption arc just keeps on giving.
Absolutely. Let's go, Capcom. So, after the report saying that Sony will no longer be doing single-player PC ports of their games, it sounds like they might be working on their own PC launcher. So, a PSN account would be required for this, and people are wondering, is this going to be to lock out compatibility with SteamOS, for one, and possibly able to lock out Project Helix. So maybe they still want to be in the PC space, but they want to find a way that they can be like, our games are not going to be able to be played on these platforms, because they're starting to feel pressure from Steam and Xbox with these changes. So, we will see. We've no idea, because literally 2 weeks ago it was the reports were saying that Sony was pulling out of PC gaming, and now it's like the back in PC gaming on their own platform, on their own launcher. I've got no fucking idea what they're doing. I'm just reading out the news. This is the fucking news. Classic. What do you think, Stephen? If you were to, you seem like you're a betting man, mate. I want you to make a big bold claim right now. What you think's going to happen?
Um, I think that's shitty if they I think it's shitty if they do their own PSN launcher for PC, because you're sales cucking people regardless.
Yeah. And they still get to dictate the price as well, right? Regardless, still get to dictate the price, whether it's on Steam. But if
I don't
they
think
do
they'll
it,
fully. I don't think they'll fully pull out of the PC market. There's money on the table, like even though like it's worked for Capcom, it's worked for Atlas, dude. Persona doing fucking gangbusters when they tested the waters releasing a game on there. Like, oh shit, people want our games. Fuck it, let's do it.
yeah, and just releasing them at the same time as they release on console, for example, is a better idea. People like our mates were like, I don't want to spend 120 New Zealand dollars on a game that released fucking 3 years ago. But it's like, nah, I'm not interested. Why am I spending full price on an old game?
Yeah.
And I was like, that's why they're like, oh, games aren't selling as well on PC. Yeah, well, maybe if you release them at the same time. So maybe they want this launcher so that they don't have to give Valve 30%, right? Maybe that's the idea behind it. I just hope if they do it, they let you use whatever controller you want. I don't want to use the fucking DualSense, to be honest. I don't like the DualSense very much. It's fine. Some of the technology and the triggers and stuff, really cool when implemented right. I loved it, the way Astrobot used the DualSense. I mean, look at him. Look at the little guy back there. Look at that little guy. I love that little guy. That was amazing on the DualSense, but most things I'm like, man, I just want to... Ideally, I'd use an Xbox controller, but I'll use my 8-bit dough. My 8-bit dough Ultimate 2, because... TMR sticks, and don't have to worry about... I had 2 stick-drifted Xbox controllers, and I ain't going back unless they can put better sticks in them. So yeah, I hope that they would give you the ability to use whatever controller you'd want, but knowing PlayStation, they'll be like, you gotta use their controller. Too bad. So yes, we will see what happens. I think you're right. I think that they do want to still be on there, even though they don't make as much money. I think if they have their own launcher and then release these games day one, you're still making all the money. I think it benefits them to do it. Especially if PC gaming becomes the dominant platform. Do you want to be left behind? Probably not.
No.
Also, I feel like PC gamers have always said PC gaming is going to be the dominant platform, and it's just like never happened. A new generation of console comes out, and then PlayStation, like this has always happened. Like I had mates said, like Xbox 360 came out, and they were like, "Oh fuck, this kicks the shit out of my PC. I can't build a PC that's this good at the moment." And then 2 years pass, and PC gaming surpasses it. And then you'd have, out of a 7-year generation of console, you would have 5 years of PC being better, but you'd have those first 2 years console. Like when PS5 launched, you couldn't have the NVMe drives weren't as they were as fast, but they couldn't read as fast because of Windows limitations, essentially. So it was like a whole, like, holy shit, look at this NVMe, it's so crazy that it's so fast. And then a few years passed, and it's like, okay, we can do that shit now. And that just seems to be the way. There are those first 2 years where console was like, damn, this shit fire, for real, oh god.
Yeah, no, I get it.
So what'll happen? The PS6 will come out, and people are like, "Bro, it's over for PC. It's over. PC's done." 2 years pass, and they're like, "Oh, it's over for PlayStation, bro. No one plays consoles anymore."
I was like the idea of this, like, PlayStation is just like this mascot. Say it's Astrobot, and he's running along. It's like, we are miles ahead of PC gaming. PC gaming will never. And then there's just some buff guy in a tight black bodysuit with a computer for a head, and he just blitzes right past them.
Yeah. I can see it now, Stephen. I can see the meme now. Visualizing it in my...
No, you can't. No, you can't.
I know. I can't actually visualize it. All right, I can't actually do it. I'm speaking metaphorically visualizing. Yeah. Fuck you.
Sorry to call you
Sony
out.
will... Yeah, you got to do it. Because I was also going to call myself out. So Sony were working on a car, and they've discontinued it. They're no longer going to be working on it. They had a Gen 1 and a Gen 2, essentially. A feeler. Yeah, I think it was interesting. I think... And previously I would have been like, what? But it kind of makes sense as a technology and manufacturing company making cars. Like, cars are becoming more tech-focused. So I get it, but it is so hard to try to start up a car manufacturing business because of, like, scale and how much product you have to put out. Because building a car takes a long time. Like, it does. I know that we see them flying off the line, but it is it is one of the most difficult industries to try to break into.
Do you reckon that they would if Sony were to do it, they would release like a Tesla or a fucking Waymo?
Oh yeah, I could see something like that. I think though that you need so much data from it that it'd be so hard to just do. We're going to release only driverless cars. I think would be very, very difficult for how much data you need to get to actually make it work. I mean, Tesla still struggles with it now, and they've been doing it longer than anyone. So, yeah, it's interesting for them to try to pivot into that, but it looks like it was not it. So Sony has closed down Dark Outlaw Games. So this was headed by Jason Blundell, who was the creator of Call of Duty Zombies. And it's unfortunate it's the second team he's been at the helm of that's been closed down. Like, he was the head of Deviation Games that got closed down. So unfortunately not a great track record for him since leaving Treyarch. But I've got an image here that's talking about all the studios that Sony has closed down in the last while. So 2020, Manchester studio. 2021, Japan studio. 2023, Pixel Opus. 2024, London studio, Firewalk Games, Neon Koi. 2026, Bluepoint Games, and now Dark Outlaw Games as well. They've closed down 8 studios in the last 6 years, and it feels like their output is not very big, to be honest. Not a great output from first party overall. So a lot of PlayStation fans are disappointed, but
what can you do?
Yeah, I guess it is what it is. Yeah, I wanted to see it, man. I'm a big fan of Call of Duty Zombies. My favourite part of Call of Duty, to be honest. So I wanted to see what he was working on, but oh well. So 70% of Marathon's game sales have been on Steam, which is interesting. Also, maybe another reason Sony wants their own launcher to make all of that money. So 19% have been on PS5 and 11% on Xbox, which is more than I would have thought, to be honest, on Xbox. Xbox is more the shooter console than PlayStation, to be fair. But with how many fewer Xboxes there are out in the wild compared to PlayStations, I'm pretty sure PlayStation's outsold them close to 3-1. That 11% to 19% is actually pretty high on Xbox, really. Like, the console sold, more copies of Marathon have sold on Xbox, which is interesting. Obviously, there's still way more selling on PlayStation, but yeah, 70% on Steam. And to be fair, it's got PC game energy about it for sure. 100%. Like, it is a PC game. I would not want to play it on console. So yeah, interesting, but pretty cool for who PlayStation thought was going to be their golden goose, and now they've got to split 30% of that revenue with Steam. Also, it was a really bad pickup for them. They were like, we're picking up Bungie, and they were like, oh fuck, they are losing us so much money immediately.
Sucks to Sony.
Yeah. Not a great acquisition as a whole, but look, hopefully they'll make money on the back end on this. This is something that blew my fucking mind. I couldn't believe this. 77% of Final Fantasy VII Rebirth players in the US were aged 30 or over, according to data from Circana. 77%. That's crazy. And 62% were aged 35 or older. So, maybe 33. Dude, I was in the younger amount of players in this game. I was in the bottom, what is that, 48%. Is that the math?
That's not wrong, man.
38%. That's kind of wild. I was like, that's crazy, and I understand as well. Age of console and PC gamers is aging up a bit. To be honest though, there are a lot of young PC gamers these days. A lot of young kids are not as interested in console; they are more interested in PC because Roblox and Discord and all of this. So it does, you know. So there are young gamers there, but they're like, what the fuck's Final Fantasy VII? So it's all us old boys that played it. I played this game when I was like, probably 8 years old on PC. I played the PC version. My brother bought it.
Hey.
And it was my exposure to JRPGs. I was like, bro, this fucking rules. So I've always got a soft spot for it. And yeah, I get it. Well, I was pretty crazy to see that overall. All right, so we've got Xbox partner preview, which is tomorrow, which is terrible timing for us because we're not going to be able to get to it for 2 weeks. But it is what it is. The show must go on. And Stephen, I want you to make a prediction on one thing you're going to see. So it's partners, so it's like it's third parties that work with Xbox. So not going to be like Fable and stuff like that. What do you think you're going to see? One game.
Oh, fuck. Blanking.
Don't take my pick. That's on there.
No.
I'll say my pick. Well, you have a little think. I think we're gonna see Pragmata again. I just think they can't. Capcom can't fucking help themselves. They want to show you the game a million times before it comes out. They gave us like a Resident Evil trailer, like what, days before Resident Evil 9 came out. We're like, we don't need to see anymore. I think they're gonna show off Pragmata again.
I'll do a safe bet. I'll go for the fucking James Bond game.
Oh yeah. Yeah. That's another. IO are just like, you got to see this, bro. You got to see this. Did you see this, bro? We got an Aston Martin in this trailer. We got anything else? Nah, just an Aston Martin. Oh, okay.
That was so.
Bro, Lenny Kravitz. We got Lenny Kravitz in his big wang and skinny cheeks. Big jaw.
Big wang and
throwback,
skinny cheeks.
That's a throwback from an hour ago.
Because I remember I didn't know much about the James Bond game, and I was like, one of my first trailers was the Aston Martin. I was just like, okay,
we got a car. Oh, cool, bro.
Sick.
But yeah, I think that's a good call from you, Stephen. I think we could see that again. All right, so recently, Jeff Kaplan, who was the original Overwatch game director and a long-time Blizzard employee, worked on World of Warcraft, and he was working on Titan. That was the MMO that got scrapped and got turned into Overwatch. Did an interview with Lex Friedman and leaked some wild information on why he left. So one of his higher-ups had essentially said Overwatch must hit huge revenue targets or they're going to lay off 1,000 employees and blame it on him. Not in those revenue targets, which is fucked. He actually said the amount, and then they bleeped it out.
Why?
He must have said later, I probably can't disclose the amount. So, yeah. So now he's working on his game in his indie studio called
Kitsugiyama?
Here we go, mate. You're way better at reading non-English words than me, eh? It's crazy. I'm so bad. Called The Legend of California. So he said the goal is to return to smaller, passion-driven development and avoid corporate pressures that he experienced while working at Blizzard. And the Legend of California doesn't look like my kind of game. It looks like kind of... I don't know if it is a survival game or if it is just like a here you're building up a town and so on. And people are saying survival and it's first person. It looks cool. It looks very ambitious as well, but it's just not my kind of game. These open world crafting games. Everyone who knows me is like, yeah, Lewis hates this shit. And they're like, oh, it'll be early access for 1 billion years. And you're like, yay, we're never going to actually release it. Oh, okay. But it's Jeff Kaplan, so I think there's hope. I think there is hope that it won't just be an early access forever. He seems to be, he knows what he's doing. Is this a game you think you'd check out?
Nah, probably not. Western survival?
That's fair enough. Yeah, seems like I only like Eastern games.
Yeah.
Alright, so Street Fighter 6 has had some DLC. Have you heard about this, Stephen? I'm sure you have.
Yeah, man.
And they've released Alex, Stephen's boy's favourite character, but they've changed a little bit of the lore with Alex. Stephen, would you like to explain the lore changes to your beloved Alex?
Can I just read off the doco for this part?
Yeah, you can. You can.
Good. I just want to say before this, from the drop, he's looked amazing. He's so fun to play, which I'll build on later when we talk about the games we were playing. They have this cool thing of when you do story mode, you fight Luke as your first person, the new protagonist. You fight Rashid, who's sort of the Street Fighter 5 protag, and then his rival at the end is Ryu. He's fun to play. Looks great. We want to find out what our boy's been up to, because he was fighting streets. He fought Gil. The reason why he entered the first tournament, entered his first tournament, is his mentor got into a scrap with Gil, and he's just like, I'm going to avenge ya. And it's like, and Street Fighter 5, he was fixing up a car. What are they doing with him now? It's like, he's a professional wrestler, and he's a heel. So he's just like, that's why in the debut, he says, in his video, he's like, guys like me can make some serious cash putting our bodies on the line. He's like, besides, I'm used to being hated. And I was just like, yeah, that's cool, because he's a heel, and people didn't really like Alex when he first came out. And then it did this shit. I mean, stories in fighting games, unless you're Mortal Kombat 9 and 9 only, they don't matter. They don't matter. But, wow. Socially, he was raised by Tom, his mentor. Grew up with Patricia, Tom's daughter. In the same household, she was treated as a sister figure. What is not exactly legal, the adoptive father thing, is now ambiguous in Japanese law. Tom may have been more of a caretaker guardian than legal adoptive parent. Biologically, second cousins, and Twitter, Reddit have been going off on it. Like, there's a scene in when you first meet Alex, like your character talks to Alex in World Tour, where he's doing these, I think they're called like Hindu dumbbell push-ups, where it's like holding them and then like lunging forth, come back up. And someone was just like, this is called the cousin cracker. And I was just like, fuck. But
it is like a soft incest. They're second cousins, and it's kind of a stepsister kind of thing, you know.
And there was the thing where like people felt uneasy that like it shows a picture, like I'm pretty sure that age gap is like 5, but they show a picture in World Tour of him holding like Patricia when she was a baby, which is me. But it's funny you should say that, because today on my lunch break, I actually came across this, which I'll read out to you. So, because Alex gets married to Patricia, and I'm reading this off Event Hubs, and they've taken it from the Street Fighter 6.
Sorry, what hub?
Event Hubs.
Oh, okay. I thought about another step bro video.
This is from the Street Fighter 6 director, Takayuki Nakayama. Released a statement apologizing the confusion surrounding Alex's story, while revealing an update is coming to refine certain aspects of the game, and releasing supplemental addition to develop and try to provide more context. Here's what they said. We apologize for any confusion that this recent topics regarding Alex's story may have caused. While we have not changed the characters' backstories after internal review by the development team, we plan to revise certain text passages that may have been misleading in near future. Additionally, we have published a supplementary episode on the Buckler Boot Camp to provide further insights into the character's emotions and backstory. So they acknowledge that it's like, oh, okay, maybe this is a little sus, a little fucked.
Didn't he marry her?
Hey?
Didn't he marry her?
Yeah.
So what could they change at this point to make that less sus? Like, a little bit of it's been misinterpreted. You know, we misinterpreted a little bit, you know, with things like, here he is holding her as a baby. And now here he is married to her. Like, how are they going to fix this?
Yeah. They've got like a 4 or 5 age year gap. It's still weird, especially because the collage of photos is Alex holding her as a baby, Alex and her walking, and then it's them married.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong, 4 or 5 year age gap's not an issue at all. Not in the slightest. But you're holding them as a baby, like you that is weird, man. That's where it's like I don't know. You wouldn't think about it normally, right? Well, let's say 5 years. It's like, oh, bro, when you were in high school, bro, your girlfriend was in primary school. You're a creep. You're like, I don't know her. What the fuck? It's different when it's like he's been raised with her, as his sister, essentially. I held you in my arms when you were born. Okay, weird.
You used to shit yourself a lot when you were an infant, and Dad wasn't around, so. No, but the thing is, when doing World Tour mode, there was a certain line where I was like, huh? So, Alex's parents dead. His mentor takes him in, and I was like, that is fine. That's cool. And then he was just like, yeah, my mentor is like, he was my mum's cousin. I was like, what? You don't... Like, there's an issue on the baby part, but it's just like the whole thing was like, oh, yeah, he adopted me. He's not my biological father. Like they do that trope in Trails in the Sky, where you've got the main character and her dad. Her dad comes home with essentially a war orphan. And he's like, oh yeah, I'm adopting him. And then they have like a interaction, stuff like that. And it's just like, they're not related stuff. But adding that, oh yeah, she was my mum's cousin. I was just like, no, you're related. It's weird. But it's just a fighting game. He plays great. He plays so good. He looks so good. Kenny Omega did a great job mo-capping him.
Well, I'm glad that there's some positives there, Stephen.
Yeah, I want to see.
We may as well just go right it. Oh, sorry, go on.
I'm waiting bated breath to see how they correct course on his story.
If they will and if they can.
Yeah.
Yes, we'll find out. So we may as well get into what we're playing. So I guess you're already talking about Street Fighter. Take it away.
So, been playing the Alex update fuck ton. And I had my little bit when I was watching his because closer to when they release, they'll show you videos of his moves and like stuff. And then when I saw he's got a stance, I was like, whoa. So he's not charged at all. He was a hybrid character who had charged moves, Shoryuken, Hadouken inputs, and at least in 3, he had a 360 move, and his power bomb's a half circle. So he had like inputs out the wazoo. And playing as him, like one of his moves in Street Fighter 3 and 5 is called Slash Elbow, which is a charge move with a kick. He still has that, and he still has his stomp, but they're behind the stance. I was like, you're kind of moveset cucking him. But then I was like, no, because to do a charge move, you need to be holding back for 2 seconds, then flick forward to do it. With getting into the Prowler stance, it's down 2 punch buttons, and then forward any punch move, and he can still do a slash elbow. He can do his stomp, which is great because stomping people in Street Fighter 5 was one of my favorite things to do, but it's a very telegraphed move. And this, it's fast. It's fucking fast. The other thing I really like with Alex is, so from 3 and 5, they're like, oh, his fighting style is kickboxing and wrestling. And it's just like, yeah, but he has a powerbomb and a German suplex and a DDT in 3 and then eventually 5. It's like, Heihachi has a powerbomb in Tekken. He's not a wrestler at all. So I'm glad they leaned heavily into it. It's like, oh no, he's a professional wrestler. He's a heel. He's an asshole. He's so fun. His critical art, not only does he get 2 level 2s in the form of Sledge Cross Hammer, he gets Kenny Omega's One Winged Angel, but his third move, like his third level 3, has an animation for when it doesn't KO, and he's not on low health, so it's a level 3, not a critical. Gets him into a little like ankle lock thing. The opponent taps on them, he picks him up, jumps, and just slams him into the ground. For his level 3, if it's going to knock them out, people are like, oh, it looks really underwhelming. He like rolls them, gets them into like a leg knee lock, fucking flex his hips upwards so he's just resting on his neck and shoulders, and it makes like the screen goes a little bit red and you hear like this sting noise, like a chirp 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 chirp, and it's like, that's cool. But if you do a critical art and you're low on health, well, that's how you do critical arts, gets them into a choke. If it's not going to finish them off, he does like a fucking judo throw and just chokes them, lets go. But if it's going to knock them out, he just does a rear naked choke on them, gets behind them, chokes, pulls them down to the ground, wraps the legs round, and then you see the character's hand just go, pass out. I was like, fuck yeah. Put some sauce and respect on him.
It's sick. It's nice, nice touch having those extra little details, of all that. I like that.
He's also
fun.
It's also quite fun because in 3 and 5 he had like a big boot move which does a lot of damage, and 5 it could crush counter, but it's so telegraphed. And this, it's a bit faster, and it's real fun to like bully the CPU, because if they don't block, they're getting kicked, and you can just dash up on them. If they do block, they're in powerbomb distance. They're they're in close enough range to powerbomb them. Another thing I love about Alex is in his Prowler stance, he has a move that gives him like a shoulder charge. If you hit it on, it can launch them regularly, but if you hit it while they're in the move in the middle of doing a move, so it's a punish, it's a brand new move. He like takes them down with an armbar and then flips them with a judo move. He's so fucking satisfying. And like, he's got a move where...
So you said Prowler stance?
Yeah.
A guy who married his... interesting choice there.
Yeah. But like, another cool thing is like, he has, in Prowler stance, you can do a grapple that covers some distance and it's fast. And it's an armbar, but if they're, as a punish, if they're like trying to parry you or they're trying to throw in a move, it changes to a DDT. And it's sick. I like the fact that his animation changes if it's a punish. He's sick.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
It sounds like you're having a good time with it. Enough of a good time to take some time off work.
Yeah. And the other game that I've been dabbling a little bit. I've gone back to the WoW because it was on special. Dragon Quest Builders 2.
Oh, nice.
I wanted that Pokepia itch to scratch, and it's scratching it. It's cute. People say that it's just 3D it's just third-person Minecraft with Dragon Quest characters. Like, I don't care. It's fun. I love it how it's... I remember reading a review, and it's like, it's good for people who get a little bit overwhelmed with the openness of Minecraft, where they need like a little bit of something streamlined, like mission-based stuff.
I need structure.
Yeah, that's the one.
Structure.
Yeah,
I can. Cool. I didn't know they had that bit of structure in there.
Fuck yeah! You like, dude, they'll be like, you go in this town, and they're like, yeah, we need you to build this. We need like a bathhouse, and it's like, cool. And then you get the blueprint, you put the blueprint down, and it's just like, what if I fuck it up? You press a button, and it shows you how many of the material you need and where it gets placed. It's like, okay, I like that.
Yeah, I'm a fan of that. That's cool.
Fuck yeah, it's good. A lot of people are like, oh, Dragon Quest Builders 2 did really well. They're going to do a third one. There's like, we can't confirm or deny what we're doing. Turns out they were making Pokepia.
Yeah, which is kind of Dragon Quest Builders 3 in a way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what I've been jamming. What about yourself?
Wicked. So, it was a little bit of Mugenics. Not as much as I thought, to be honest. I still haven't beaten Act 3, so I will be getting back to it, but just a touch of that. Probably will be playing a bit this weekend because I'm on call for work and I need something that I can quickly pause or jump out of or just finish up. I'll just finish up this mission and I'll give this person a call back, you know. They can wait 3 minutes for me to finish up this level, you know. So I'll be probably playing a bit this weekend. There's been a new Hearthstone expansion that's based on the Cataclysm World of Warcraft expansion, so a lot of dragons and stuff, which is cool because I'm a simple man. I like dragons. It's fun, so I've been playing a bit of that, but look, it's an expansion to a card game. Yeah, so they added more cards. Yeah, I love it. I'm addicted. I can't help myself. So, the game I've been putting time into, Marathon. So, the wee story about this so myself, Scrip, and DT, the stream boys. Also, last night Stephen's like, oh yeah, I can't make it to the stream. Me and the boys were like, that's fine. That's all good, mate. That's all good. We'll play what we actually like. Well, look, we love playing XCOM, but we really wanted to play more Marathon, so we were chuffed to get to play it again. And I was looking at it being like, before it came out, I was like, this looks really good. And DT was pretty pissed off with Bungie because he got burnt by playing Destiny for 10 years. Look, I would just pop in to Destiny and play it for 3 or 4 months and do everything I want to do and go, cool, and then put it down and then pick it up again 2 years later and then play all the expansions through. He was playing the whole time and really felt like he got burnt by them, and he would like kind of sworn off Bungie games. And every time a new trailer would drop, I'd post it. He'd be like, nah. And then I posted one. I'm like, this looks good. He was like, whoa, don't, nah. I'm not getting tempted, pretty much. And then it was looking good. It was like, oh, I do want to play it. And we kind of all agreed as like, bro, if someone caves, I'll get amongst it. So sure enough, started last week, DT's like, I caved. Chris is like, yeah, I'm going to jump on now. And then I was like, I can't play tonight, but I'll be on tomorrow. So, yeah. So it's a first-person extraction shooter. You've got a bunch of different classes that they call shells, because you're essentially jumping into... It's like, I believe you're like remotely controlling these robots, which are the shells, and you go down to these planets to kill other people, but also get the resources and extract out on behalf of these like dystopian mega corporations. Also visually looks amazing. It feels incredible to play. Like Bungie's shooting is just fucking top notch. Like, I would say, as far as the tiers go, you've got S tier, you've got Respawn with your Titanfall, your Apex Legends, and then Bungie's probably like A plus, like really fucking good, like exceptional, but I feel like nobody touches Respawn. And then you've got obviously like your Call of Duties and your Battlefields also in that tier with Bungie. I feel like that. So yeah, I'll give you a bit of a rundown in terms of the kind of the corporation stuff you work for, and kind of what they're after. So you've got Arachne, who when I read that, I was like, how the fuck do I pronounce that? They're essentially like a death cult, and they'll give you missions like to kill other players, more or less, to level up their faction. Also, all of these factions, because you'll get resources going into these maps, but they want you to get certain things to level up their skill trees. So they'll give you, if it's one of this death cult, they'll give you more like offensive kind of perks and things like that. Some of them will be like, you get more storage and for your loot space, in your armory. Yeah, there's a word. I think armory is where you buy the shit. But you've got your vault at home that you can store your stuff in. So some with more vault space. Some of them are like, oh, you've unlocked this thing that you can now buy this particular item from the armory, and so on. So you gather these. Cyber Acme is a tech company, an AI corporation. So they want you to like scan and like gather intel and stuff for them, and then bring it back. Sekaguchi is like a biotech company, so they want you to, collect biological samples and things like that and bring them back like, plants and stuff like that, which is cool. Mida, they're kind of like a rebel faction, and they want you to sabotage like things around the map and disrupt and kind of stuff. You've got Traxxas, who's like an industrial corporation. They want you to loot resources and get out with them. And then you've got New Caloric, who's like a consumer mega corporation. They want you to gather materials and stuff because they want you to make food like, like a drinkable cheeseburger and shit like that. So you find as well different products from these places around the map as well. So you'll find like healing supplies by Sekaguchi, or like food from like New Caloric, like around the map and stuff, to be like, I'm going to use this item and that's going to buff against poison damage and things like that for the next period of time, which is cool. I do like how it's like as someone who's a big fan of like all the Souls games and dystopian stuff, the end of the world and all that, and it's all doom and gloom, and I love that in a game. This is like pretty dystopian future. Like it's much prettier and more vibrant, but there's this like a lot of things in them are like they don't have a lot of fine details. They're very like, there's a sterile nature to them, which I actually think is really cool. Like I'm still amazed that Bungie's like, I know that technically this is a reboot, but they're like, hey, we're doing another sci-fi game with an entirely different aesthetic from our other two established ones. I'm like, how the fuck do you do this every time? Like how how do you make Halo, Destiny, and Marathon all so distinctly different from each other? Like the art team, I know there's that thing about them, some of the art people ripping people off, but their art team is fucking crazy talented to be able to do that. So the shells you can choose from as well, to give you a little idea. You've got Assassin, so it's like a stealth kind of ambush character. You can go invisible and things like that. All that sneaking around. This is who I believe DT's been playing. After he was playing the healer, and me and Script were like, bro, you're too fucking good to have you on like a healer. Let us do the healing and the recon stuff. We need you to be on like a carry kind of thing, because he's fucking elite. Good Destroyer, who's like a more tank, like defensive character. It's got shields and like explosives. You can like fire rockets out at people, which is cool. So your front line kind of bruiser character, that was the first character I was playing, which I do like, but I'm now playing this character, Recon, who's all about getting intel and tracking. It's all about detecting enemies as well, and scouting, which I really like, and it's great for like team awareness and trying to find out where people are. So Vandal is all about mobility and disruption. So it's all about speed and mobility. And so kind of like a hit and run kind of thing, and pain in the ass to try to hunt down. They will just fucking get away from you trying to hunt them down. Triage, who's like a support and healer class, which is super fucking helpful. Like, say, people would be like, this is a mandatory one when you've got a 3-stack. Just heals and revives, so good. Helps keep your team alive. Thief, who's a loot specialist and's got a grapple hook and that, which is, getting valuables is just a good thing. You want to extract with stuff. This is a great character for that. And then you've got the Rook. So the Rook is an interesting character because this drops you into levels late, I believe, and it's a solo only class, and it's super simple. You just get a free kit with it, and it's like go nuts, right? And yeah, it's I find this really quite interesting. There's no real risk to taking a Rook out and in there, and you just go solo and I'll see what I can do. I'll play the Rook this game. Okay, I'll go out there, play a solo, and we'll see if we can get some stuff. Or I'm running low on ammo. I'll just try sneak in as the Rook and get some shit and fuck off. So there's a lot of variety. There's a bunch of different maps as well. So some of your contracts that you get from these companies will be like, you have to go and gather these particular resources on this map. So you drop it on the map, and it's like, okay, you need to go to a particular area. You need to go to Southern Lab or whatever. You need to go to maintenance, and you're going to loot some steel rods from here. And you might find some robots on the way. You might find some players. You might find some just poisonous plants that fuck your day up, There's also some Omega bosses on the map, which have fucking destroyed us. They're so tough. Just these NPC bosses. And yeah, just how the shooting and movement feels amazing. So it's just fucking, it's just such a good time. Like, I'll tell you his story. Give a little story time. Gather around the fire, children. Gather around the fire. So Script and I were just playing a duo. And we're in an area where there's a heap of bots. So we're just fighting the bots off and just trying to loot. And then someone ambushes us. And Script gets down, and there's so many fucking bots there. And then I'll play it, and I'm like, I'm sorry, bro, I think I've got to bail. He's like, you're all good. Get out of here. I'm like, okay, sweet. So I end up bailing because I don't want the smoke. And then I go to another wee part of the map, and I'm like, oh, there's an extract over here. Let's see if I can get out. There's a guarded extract. So if you call it in, you spawn in a heap of bots. And I had half a health bar, no shield, and just no heals or anything. I'm like, fuck, I can't call this in because I won't be able to make it out. So I start trekking up into this other area. I see two players, and I'm like, fuck! So I start bailing. I start running for my life. And I realize, I'm going to call in this fucking extract so I can get the bots down there. The bots, they've got to deal with them. So I make a problem for them. So I call in that extract, and then I fucking do the jit. And these guys are left fighting these robots. And I'm like, fuck yeah, okay, I made it out. I'm like, okay, I'm going to see if I can go back to Script's body and revive them, because you can revive people when they're down, but then if they die you could still revive them, but their body's lootable. So I'm like, okay, I'll try sneak in. So I'm going full stealth mode. I'm sneaking past all these bots because this facility's got a shitload of them, and I'm like, okay, get to his body. I get him about halfway up. I hear footsteps, and I'm like, oh fuck, that's not a bot. It's a player. A player's come back, and I'm like, oh fuck, I think it's the guy who couldn't kill earlier. Oh fuck. So I'm like, I gotta go hide in a corner because I got no health. And then me and the guy, we see each other, and my ability's not up yet. I was ready to throw my ability. I press the button, it doesn't fire. I'm like, oh fuck. I shoot a couple of shots and miss, and I just fucking run. I call him this extract, and I just hide behind this rock and go, oh, please don't fucking show up. Please don't fucking show up. I hear him with a little drone hooning around trying to find me. Can't find me. I'm like, oh god, oh god. Extract comes, cool. You jump into the extract. It's got to do a 10-second countdown. You got to survive for those 10 seconds. The guy never even came out, and I get out with my life. And when it showed his cam at the end, he ended up just hanging out in the facility, just looting stuff. He didn't want the smoke either. So I'm shitting my pants. I'm fearing for my life with half a fucking health bar and no heals. And that guy didn't want the smoke either, which is hilarious. But it was this game where I was like, man, this game is exceptional. This is so fucking good. Like, how everything went down. It was just, oh man. I really, really like this game. PC Gamer also like really tough critics historically. They gave it a 9 out of 10, which is massive. Like my only thing I could be critical of, and I know it will get more content, and right now it doesn't feel like there's still feels like there's heaps of content. But I could see an argument for people being like, it feels a little content light. You know, there's only 4 maps, and one of them you've got to be higher leveled and have elite gear, because it tells you like your gear value. It's like you got to have $5,000 worth of gear. Bro, the highest I've extracted with is $3,500 of gear. So I'm not equipped for that. And you go and like, you got to go with the mindset in an extraction shooter. It's not your gear. It's just your turn with that gear, right? You die, another player picks it up, it's their gear now. You can't get too attached to it. You have to accept that you are going to lose this gear eventually. It's the way it works. And you can accept a little bit more when you lose that gear. Like, okay, well, enjoy the gear, I guess. Fuck you, but enjoy the gear.
I was keeping it warm for you.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm a big fan of this game. I think it works well in the trios as well. But the duos has been fun. Duos is a special mode, and they're just changing around the map to different maps now as well. So, yeah. But, man, it's just a really good game. Real big fan of it. First shooter I've played in ages, so my aim is so bad. It is terribly bad. That's alright. It's DT will carry me until I can get my aim better, and then I can hopefully carry him from time to time.
So you reckon it's got more it's got more staying power than Arc Raiders?
Yes, but because I had no one to play Arc Raiders with. If I had friends to play Arc Raiders with, I could see both. You know, I could see Arc Raiders possibly even giving me more time, partly because I think that the robots are more interesting in Arc Raiders. I think the robots in Marathon are still really cool, and I do like them. Like, there are these invisible ones that are just fucking cunts to deal with, but they are really cool. But Arc Raiders, like, the robots are super interesting to me. So hopefully Marathon adds a little bit more variety in that regard. Because also, I know that the whole PvPvE thing, people didn't really get into until more recently. People didn't like I'm not interested in these PvPvE games. But then you put those mechanics in an extraction shooter, and people are like, oh, I am actually interested. I've always liked that. My favorite mode in Titanfall 2 was one that is a mix of bots and players. So they're just these like random little basic bitch soldiers that run around the map and stuff. And they were like pretty easy to kill, and they gave you a few points for killing them, but you got way more points for killing enemy titans than enemy players. And I thought that mode was the most fun and most unique. So I was a big fan of that. And this feels like this kind of stuff now. Like Evolve was a bit of that. Or if you played the Left 4 Dead had a mode where the enemy, you would versus an enemy team of they controlled special infected, but then they had the generic zombies that would just still hoard you. And I just think it's a formula that, I don't know, people weren't particularly into, but it's starting to become more popular on the back of these types of extraction shooters. So, yeah, big fan of that.
Neat.
So I've got a review from, of course, it's a marathon review. So I think solo queue is basically a horror game. Just play the game with no expectations, and you'll be surprised how addicting it is. Once it gets addicting it gets once you get the ball rolling. But solo queue basically is a horror game. So I've played a couple of games solo, and it wasn't using the rook. I was using like other characters, and you're just like, I'm just tense the whole time. I'm so fucking tense. I'm trying to be so quiet, and I'm like, nah, bro, solo ain't for me. Eh? I'm not a. It's a game I've got to play with the boys, and that is by Choco Mint. Thank you, Choco Mint, for this lovely review. Did I butcher it? All right, what do you got for me, big dog?
I have a review, short, sweet, and to the point review of Dragon Quest Builders 2 by Talon, and they said, I played this game so hard I lost my job. True story.
Oh no. Talon, bro. Well, hopefully you got back out there and got another job.
Or you're doomed with Pokepedia.
Yeah, Pokepedia came out and you lost your job again.
I know it's because is it meant to be pronounced Pokopia?
I think it is like Pokopia.
But that's just like when you saw the word like compiling or compilation. For me, it's like, oh yeah, Pokopia.
That's how I pronounce it as well. It just makes the most sense to me to pronounce it that way, but it's all right. We could be wrong as long as we're wrong together, mate. That's what matters. Yeah. So, I believe that's all we've got of episode 32 of No Scrubs. So, thank you for stopping by. And if you play Marathon, drop below what your favourite what do they call them? What your favourite shellers, mate? Tell me what your favourite shellers. I'm interested. I want to know. Big fan of the old Recon right now. So let me know. Let me know if you're a Recon, mate. All right, mate.
Justice for Alex.
Justice for Alex. That's Steven's dude right there. Or a real heel turn marrying your fucking adopted, well, your stepsister. A real heel turn.
How will they correct course? Stay tuned.
Steven will inform you. Don't you worry. All right, we'll catch you on the next one.
What?